before I play all the reviews, I just want to tell you something. I just finished recording my episode 102 review. I'm gonna edit everything together. On Friday, I filmed my episode 99 review. On Saturday, I filmed my episode 100 review. And today, on Sunday, I filmed episode 101 review and episode 102 review. Right now in Serbia, it's 11:50 p.m. So technically, my time, technically this is going to come out on Monday, but most of you guys are from America, so it's going to be late Sunday, I guess. I promise that something like this will never happen, like ever on my channel. When I did my live reaction to the 5th opening of Boruto, was it the 5th or the 6th opening? I think it was the 5th. But anyway, I said this there, but in case you haven't seen that video, I just want to say it here. A lot of things happened in my life. I was sick for a short period. I'm still kind of iffy or whatever, but I'm much better right now. I got like 1 more week of school, and then I have a break until the 6th of May or whatever. And, my school is kind of gonna be over in about a week. Like, it's complicated to explain, but that's done, and I'm gonna have more time to upload. So huge hiatuses like the one that I had recently will never happen again. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm uploading 4 reviews in 1 video. That's just, it's embarrassing. Yeah, let's get into the video. Boruto episode 99 was a good episode. It's actually the last episode that has 2 digits. The next episode is episode 100. I wonder if this episode is gonna have something special in it because, it's the first 3-digit episode. I don't know. I'll see. Obviously, I'm supposed to catch up. Like, after I finish recording this review, I'm gonna watch episodes 100 and 101 and film those reviews, and then I'm gonna film on Sunday episode 102 review, I believe, and I'm gonna put everything together. So you're probably seeing 4 reviews in 1 video, which is crazy, and because of that, I'm gonna be as short as I can. This episode, it was a good episode. It wasn't perfect. I felt like the pacing throughout the episode was kind of not good, if you get what I mean. But then at the end, we have this plot twist, I guess, where, Sumir's team is ambushed, and that kind of made the overall experience even better. So the episode went from a 7 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10, because of that explosive moment at the end of the episode. And, it's a nice contrast to the rest of the episode because, like, most of it was kind of chill. I mean, obviously, we did have that fight, which, by the way, was animated beautifully. But, throughout the episode, you had a lot of talk between Boruto and JUUGO and overall Team 7 and their interactions. After the Mitsuki arc especially, like, when you see these interactions, it's very satisfying. Like, you can see the chemistry in Team 7, and that's something that I really enjoy. Now, if you follow if you've been following my reviews for a while, you guys know that when it comes to my final episode ratings, I don't take music and animation into consideration. That rhymes. I felt like, most of the times I just briefly mention, the soundtrack and the animation sometimes, like I did in this video. I mean, the animation in this episode was fantastic when Konohamaru was fighting against JUUGO, although I will say that the art was kind of off, not only during the fight, but throughout this episode, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't anything huge, like, it wasn't horrible, but sometimes it was kind of off, it was off. Yeah, Boruto has come a long way. You can clearly see that he matured a lot throughout the anime, which is understandable because we're almost 100 episodes in. I mean, I'm supposed to catch up. We're more than 100 episodes in, but he matured a lot. He's a great person. I love how he offers help to JUUGO. And I wonder if the future of this arc, which is a couple of more episodes, I wonder if they're gonna I wonder if the series is gonna explore this relationship even more. But yeah, obviously JUUGO has the curse mark. and these birds have curse marks or whatever. I mean, they're getting them somehow. It's like, you know, this whole problem is, it's probably connected to the guys who attacked Sumire. I mean, I think it was like a brother and a sister, and I'm not really sure about this, but I think Tosaka could somehow be related to this, connected to this, because he's very weird. But when I saw those, I don't know how to call them, bandits or whatever, they had like green eyes or something like that. And then I looked at Tosaka's eyes and it was kind of similar. I think his name is Tosaka. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. But yeah, it could be, you know, me just making some far-fetched theories. But, you know, he does seem weird. And, you know, he has kind of some type of green eyes, I think. Maybe I didn't see it properly. I don't know. But only time will tell. But anyway, you know, JUUGO has the curse mark. These new villains or whatever, they have like scientific curse marks. I don't know. Boruto has a seal. It's not a curse mark, but it's a seal. Still, I mean, this is a curse seal and this is a seal. In the Byakuya gang arc, seals were mentioned. Obviously, you know, Boruto got the seal during the versus Momoshiki arc. At the start of the anime, we had the whole thing with Sumire's newest seal or whatever. Like sealing jutsu, it's mentioned so many times in the Boruto series. And it's like Naruto's mainly about eye jutsus or dojutsus, and here we have sealing jutsus and stuff. So yeah, that's an interesting comparison right there. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the next episode and I'm gonna review it. And as I said earlier in this video, my rating for this episode is 8 out of 10. And I'm gonna watch episode 100 right now, and then I'm gonna review it after that. As simple as that. Boruto episode 100 was a brilliant episode. Honestly, like the eerie atmosphere throughout this episode really kind of, you know, it gave me the chills. And, you know, I just really enjoyed it because if you really think about it, everything is going the wrong way. And, you know, I just enjoyed this episode in a very strange way. So, one negative, you know, that I want to mention before I get into the positive stuff is that the pacing just, in my opinion, wasn't perfect. So that's the reason why this episode gets a 9.5 out of 10 and not 10 out of 10. Maybe, you know, stuff that happened in this episode could have happened a bit more quickly, so to say. But, you know, still, it was a fantastic episode. You know, the stuff that was supposed to keep JUUGO, you know, from, you know, getting into that berserk mode where he wants to kill everybody, it just disappeared randomly. Wasabi and Namira, all of a sudden they have these curse marks on them because, you know, they were ambushed or whatever. And I mean, obviously we as the audience, we saw what happened. You know, Sumire's team was ambushed by those two siblings or whatever. And in my last episode review, in my episode 99 review, I said how Tosaka is kind of similar to them and he might be involved within this entire situation, and now I'm even more sure. But you know, we as the audience, as I said, we know what happened to Wasabi and Namina, but just put yourself in Boruto's shoes, right? Everything is just, you know, fucked up. I mean, Konohamaru can't move, JUUGO is captured by these guys from the land of River, Boruto's team was under surveillance. He couldn't do anything for Wasabi and Amira. All of a sudden, Sumire is gone. He couldn't really protect the birds or anything like that. And mentally, this can have negative effects on Boruto. And why do I think that Tosaka is involved in all of this? Well, first of all, as I already said, he looks similar to those siblings, like in terms of eyes. It's like kind of green or whatever. But if you really think about it, the stuff that was supposed to help JUUGO and stop him from going berserk, it couldn't just disappear all of a sudden, right? I mean, Sarada didn't remove it, Mitsuki didn't steal it or remove it, whatever. Boruto definitely didn't do it, JUUGO didn't do it. It has to be Tosaka. You know, I'm 75% sure that it's him. And, you know, and if you guys remember when, I mean, you know, because I'm catching up. All of you already saw the episode, so there's no, like, I don't even know why I'm going so much, like, in depth, but yeah, it's just the way I review the episodes. And plus, I try to keep these reviews as short as possible, like the ones in this video, so I can catch up as fast as I can. But anyway, if you guys remember when Boruto woke up in the middle of, you know, I think it was night, like it was early morning or something like that. I can't really remember. Doesn't matter. But you know, all of a sudden Dosaka comes up and he says, yo, the birds escaped and Jugo tried to help them or whatever. It was definitely him who let the birds escape, and all of this is planned. It was revealed to us in this episode, you know, when Sumire and her team fought against those guys, that they were ordered to stop them, and probably it was Tosaka. I mean, I guess there's a chance that somebody, like some third party, is involved within this, but I don't think so. I think Tosaka is up to something, and I've been saying this. He does seem like a weird guy. So yeah. One more thing that I want to mention about this episode is the conversation between Jugo and Boruto. I felt like it was some type of symbolism, some type of foreshadowing. Like when they were discussing about that bird that's not able to fly, I thought that was some type of symbolism, mainly because of the soundtrack. A very serious soundtrack started playing, and as Jugo was explaining how you know, this bird can fly no matter what it does, I immediately thought of Boruto potentially trying to do something to save everybody in the future, but failing to do so. I mean, obviously in the first episode we see that the Hidden Leaf village is destroyed, so Boruto probably fails to protect it, which doesn't mean that the series is gonna have a sad ending, but you know, a lot of messed up shit is gonna happen for sure. And I just immediately connected the bird to Boruto. I think it was some type of symbolism or whatever. And, you know, the moment Jugo said some paths are predestined, I simply knew it. Because the Jogan is definitely connected to some type of destiny or whatever. If you guys remember earlier in the Boruto anime, Toneri said that Boruto's eye will either save the world or it will lead to his destruction or whatever. So it's destiny. And we have Momoshiki's prophecy in the Boruto manga. In the Boruto manga. I mean, yes, in the Boruto manga, but it was adapted in the 65th episode. He basically told Boruto that he can see his fate, and then his blue eyes will one day take away everything from him. In the, you know, during the Mitsuki retrieval arc, when Boruto met the great snake sage, I don't remember how that character was called. I think it was Great Snake Sage or whatever. But you know, that character also mentioned how, you know, Boruto's fate seems interesting or whatever. So this has been hinted at multiple times in the Boruto series, and I feel like Jugo's words, you know, how some paths are predestined. I mean, obviously he wasn't referring to Boruto at that point, but you know, some paths are predestined. That's literally screaming foreshadowing when it comes to Boruto's character. And yeah, I just really enjoyed that part of the episode, and that's my favorite part of the episode. As I said earlier in this video, 9.5 for this episode from me, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my episode 101 review, which is gonna be in the same video. So yeah, I'm gonna be very quick with this one because I want to watch episode 102 as soon as possible. And yeah, I'm just excited for that episode because I already heard from a lot of people on Twitter that it was great. But anyway, this episode 101, was great as well. In my opinion, this is the best episode of the JUUGO arc so far. I mentioned this in my Boruto episode 100 review, and here I am mentioning it again. The foreshadowing when it comes to Boruto's character and his future is just crazy, because obviously some things that will happen in Boruto's life are predestined. And that topic was brought up in this episode again. Something that I wasn't really expecting in this arc is that, you know, Karin and Suigetsu are here. They joined, but if you really think about it, it kind of makes sense, because where you have JUUGO, you're very likely to have Karin and Suigetsu, right? And first of all, I like how the creators of the Boruto anime made the interactions between Karin Suigetsu and Team 7 interesting. It wasn't like, you know, boring or generic or anything like that. It was actually super enjoyable in my opinion. I loved Sarada's and Karin's interactions, and you know, I felt like Karin's character was super enjoyable in general in this episode, especially how, you know, she kind of teased Suigetsu. And speaking of Suigetsu, he's playing this tough guy card, but you know, he's a softie. I think Mitsuki said it, and then Suigetsu kind of got annoyed. It was that was extremely funny, And I remember, at one point in the episode when Boruto was talking to Suigetsu, he was basically doing the talk no jutsu, and then Suigetsu was like, "You're annoying just like Mitsuki." But yeah, overall, this episode had fantastic pacing. The plot progression was great, and the atmosphere was very intense, so to speak. And as I was watching the episode, like it went by really quickly, meaning that I really enjoyed it. In my opinion, this episode is a 10 out of 10 episode. I don't see anything wrong about it. Again, it's just it's so satisfying seeing Boruto saying all these things about JUUGO. It just shows you that Boruto as a protagonist, he has a huge heart for pretty much everybody. This episode had a plot twist at the end, a plot twist that I predicted in my previous two episode reviews. Tosaka is one of the bad guys, but one thing that I didn't predict was the fact that the Land of River guys are working with those bandits or whatever, I don't know how to call them, and with Tosaka, but it all makes sense, all of them are together. But anyway, there's a plot twist at the end. Tosaka most likely, disables, Boruto and Suigetsu from fighting or whatever. And if you really think about it, and I saw a couple of people talking about this on Twitter, Boruto got betrayed so many times so far in the Boruto anime by so many people. I think Jackson did like I think he made like a picture where he put all the people that betrayed Boruto. I'm not really sure, but yeah, this is just another example of that. And people are stabbing Boruto's back all the time, and the dude's just a kid. So yeah. Anyway, Sumire is back. I mean, she's back in action. She's probably, I mean, not probably, but she's gonna fight in the next episode against that guy. I don't know if his name was revealed. And Karin and Zara are gonna fight against his sister, I guess. And this episode, it really builds up the next episode in a great way, in a very effective way. And overall, the episode was very entertaining, And I think that the next episode could be like the finale or whatever. I mean, it's probably gonna be like 2 more episodes of this arc, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the final fights are probably gonna happen in the next episode. It's interesting because Boruto and Suigetsu most likely aren't able to fight. I don't know what's up with Konohamaru. I mean, in this episode, one of the Land of River guys, I think he tried to kill them, but he wasn't there, meaning that Konohamaru most likely figured out everything and maybe left or whatever. Anyway, we'll see. I want to watch the next episode as soon as possible. 10 out of 10 for me, and I'm literally going to watch episode 102 now. I'm going to review it, and then I'm just going to, put everything together. Since this is the 4th review in a single video, I'll try to be very short here. And assuming that you watched all 3 reviews, this is probably fine by you. And if you just skip to this part, well, that sucks. You're not gonna get as much content as you would normally get. But yeah, anyway, this episode, just like the one before it, was perfect in my opinion. It gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Boruto as a series in general never fails to impress when it comes to its character, arc finals, so to say. I'm talking about the climaxes of Boruto's arcs. And if you really think about it, this episode is organized so well. You have a couple of fights that are happening simultaneously. The episode keeps switching from one fight to the other, and the majority of the episode is very dynamic. It's intense, filled with great character interactions, and overall it's a perfect package. I thought when I did my episode 101 review, I thought that this was gonna be like the final episode, I guess, but no, it wasn't really too realistic. Now that I think about it, because although these fights aren't long, still it's a couple of fights. And in this episode, the siblings, they're done, like they're completely destroyed by Sarada, Karin, Nue, Wasabi, and Namida. And now Tosaka is the one that's supposed to be defeated. Obviously, there's the guys that are from the the investigating team, the ones that worked with Tosaka, but they don't seem like they're too strong or whatever. And now, you know, in the last episode, you know, of the fighting or whatever, because like, you know, even if the next episode is the final episode of this entire, you know, conflict, you know, or whatever, maybe, you know, like probably episode after that one, episode 104, I believe, you know, that's the one that's supposed to transition between this arc and the next arc, most likely. So still, the next one might not technically be the final episode of the arc, but it's the final one in terms of fighting and you know, and shit that's happening right now, most likely, because I don't really see this, you know, fight between Tosaka and everybody else lasting for too long. Obviously, Konohamaru and Mitsuki, I mean, Mitsuki found Konohamaru. Konohamaru already sensed that something was wrong, and really, right now it's everybody versus Tosaka, and everything's going to be sorted out really quickly. One thing that I want to mention when it comes to this episode, I really liked that little callback to Naruto Shippuden. It was when Karin mentioned to Sarada how Sakura once saved her life and now she's repaying the debt, and you know that was a cool moment. That was a cool moment, and Karin's character came a long way. And I said this in my previous episode review, but she's a very enjoyable character right now. And honestly, once this arc ends, I'm gonna miss Karin because obviously she's not gonna appear too often in the Boruto anime. Yeah, Tosaka is this mad scientist that just wants to research the curse marks or whatever. You know, I mean, this kind of goes along with the entire theme of technology and research. I mean, it's you know, it's been mentioned so many times in the Boruto series. And obviously the sealing jutsus are mentioned so many times. In this case, it's cursed seals. You know, JUUGO's curse mark is like a cursed seal. But yeah. But before I end this review, I want to say something. At the end of the episode, there was a shot of Boruto's karma seal. Like it zoomed in on Boruto's hand. And obviously, you know, he was trying to see if he can move because he was paralyzed by those drugs from Tosaka. And that's cool, but you know, like it focused on Boruto's karma seal for a few moments, and this is very far-fetched. I made a Twitter theory about this, not a YouTube video because it's too far-fetched and there's not enough evidence. But if you follow me on Twitter, you know this because as I said, I tweeted it on Twitter, and I even put a screenshot there, and here I am mentioning it here, you know, for the end of this video. Is this some type of foreshadowing that in the next episode Boruto is subconsciously going to use the karma seal for the first time in the Boruto anime? Yeah, that's the theory. Anyway, guys, that was your boy Hokage. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and second channel links are in the description of this video. If you're new to this channel and if you're into the Boruto series, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.